What is going on? Day 2, Super Bowl 60, Media Row, Heavy Pour Sports, and we have Bron Heussenstamm, who is the founder of Bleav, which has grown into this 500-plus show, 100 college or collegiate avenues that he has on the FanDuel network. And this thing has grown in a very short amount of time. So we're very, very curious on how he's able to do that, since we are also in that platform. But, sir, thank you very much for your time. How are you doing today?
Well, thank you guys so much for the kind words. First off, really appreciate it. And just even getting to the point you're at now is a huge accomplishment. Not everybody has a show that's good in their local market. So it's not only a pleasure for you guys, but for the listeners out there, it's like, yes, you talk about my teams in my market. That's what I want. So it's a perfect match. But I was in this exact same situation. I was looking for a spot for Jay Glazer and Ryan Leaf to start a podcast, and said, Jay, because he just walked by and give everybody a high five.
I got a picture.
Ryan took me up on it. And it said, we met at Sweet Greens on Sunset Boulevard, and said, how can you break into podcasting? What are the steps that you need to do that? At the time, we were offering a social media post and a way to upload it. That's all we knew. So we started it, but I didn't want it to look like he just started a pod. I wanted it to look like he signed somewhere for the press release and the visual impression. Sure. So we launched it. We called a bunch of our other friends that were on TV and podcasts and said, hey, is this something you're looking to do? And realized that a lot of people were looking to do it. And we just grew from there. And it was really just about how to maximize and how to help the hosts. And now we have over 800 people on about 500 shows, a show for every team in baseball, football, and basketball, and about 70 in college as well. And we just try to help. That's what we're really there. It's not all altruism. It's not a charity, but it's really about threading that line, as you guys will see too, where too much help sinks the business. And there's a podcast company graveyard out there of people that have tried to do this, and not enough help sinks the host. And you really have to find that line, because if Bleav goes out of business, I can't help anybody. I want to put a billboard on Sunset Boulevard for everybody and give everybody 24/7, but it's not feasible. So how do you really make that work? And we've really found that, and that's why it's been thriving.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I said 100 collegiate, but it's obviously, you mentioned it. It's all pro sports. We had and covers college, and we had Bleav in Rams was on. Aaron was on today. Aaron was on the show. I think I did impress her. I threw some LA Rams knowledge out there. I don't know if it was an open invite, but she did say I was welcome to the Super Bowl next year. So just throwing that on.
It's in LA. It's in LA. Keep in touch.
But how do you go about it? So obviously you have to have good people around you. You mentioned, like, you sat down and try to figure out. But in order to get this big, you have to get good people around you. You got to get the right talent, right? Because a lot of people want to just talk sports. You got to get the right talent, and you have to mix of people who know what they're talking about, but then also can bring outside perspectives. How do you go about building your team?
Yeah, that's right. We've got good partners, right? You want to own something successful, regardless of your percentage, because 100% of a failure is not a good option in business, right? So have a great partner. Eric Weinberger came over from Best Damn Sports Show, period. It was the EP at the NFL Network, hired Rich Eisen, and everybody that went through there. So having somebody like that on board is obviously incredible. Bounce good ideas, obviously very well connected in the space. But more than that, it was about, if we can build the best platform to help hosts, we'll win, right? We'll win because the hosts will get the best help. And that's always been the North Star. It sounds cheesy, but that was really the goal. And we're really not there yet. But having those hosts that are excited, because it's a two-way street, right? I can't be building this thing and have a host that doesn't show up and do their show and whatnot. So finding those people that don't have red flags, that are professional, because it kind of takes care of itself. If you're got 500 shows, but everybody is professional, they care about what's happening in their career, and that's all we can ask from them. And then we can take it and try to shine it up as much as we can, try to distribute it to places like the FanDuel network, work with places like FanDuel and implement them back into the hosts, and have great conversations where it's not an ad, it's content for FanDuel, because who doesn't want to talk about their FanDuel bet and the odds and everything? Exactly. So we love that side of it. We love working with them. They're a great partner. And just wrapping the whole thing together in a way that works for everybody and finds that, like I said, thread the needle where it's a harmony and the business actually is profitable and it doesn't just go out and the host feels like their time is valued. That's all you can ask from both sides.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Is good talent, but also make it so you love what you're doing, right? And you'll have a great
And
product.
that's why we all got into this in the first place,
Exactly.
right? We love sports, we like lifestyle. We have a ton of lifestyle, true crime. They love that stuff. We have people that go live from, I'm outside the Oscars, and it's like they love it. And that passion, it doesn't matter if it's Harry Potter or the Dodgers. It's got a fan base that loves it, and they want to hear from an expert. And so we have hosts into all of that.
Yeah, it's incredible. Go ahead, T.
Rando's big on meat and potato stuff. I like origin stories and
Okay.
stuff. So what was your lead up? What were you doing before all this started? What kind of shaped you from childhood, where you had the acumen to be successful in this space? What's all that lead up kind of look like?
Yeah, it's a great question. My background, I was a professional athlete, surfer, dude. Laguna surfing was the coolest thing, and I wanted to be cool, so I surfed. And I'm insanely competitive. I play every sport. I mean, if you want to go play foosball, ping pong, like I'm in, right? And that was just the coolest thing. And then I went to USC after 9/11. I thought being a burned out professional surfer at 35 might not be the best lifestyle. And when I was at SC, the whole team went to the NFL. That was what it was. Reggie and Leinert were my 3 years there. So that was incredible, and got to watch all those guys do their thing. I was at school at 23, right when Van Wilder came out. So everybody loved making those jokes, since I took 5 years to do the surfing tour in between high school and that. And I was such a big sports fan, and those guys couldn't believe it with my frosty hair walking around at 25 that I was even there in the first place. So we became great friends and watched their whole careers. And that really got me set out to work with more of those athletes, because my college business plan was repping all my pro surf friends, which I did. But the whole, we had 37 NFL players on that USC football team. And then everybody wanted to hang with them. So those connections kept going. Fast forward 15 years, I had an agency. I was working with mostly brands, but I had a couple talent, and I was just looking for a spot for them to get in. I really saw it as direct to consumer, which I had a clothing company before. My parents owned a chain of surf shops, which again, how I got into surfing. And you could now skip Nordstrom's for clothes. Well, you could skip the local radio station and go directly to consumer. And I told the guys, I said, hey, man, this thing's coming. It's coming fast. This is Twitter. It's YouTube. This isn't radio and TV. You need to own this, and you need to start just like you have a Twitter and Instagram. And so that's what we did. We just wanted a spot for Ryan to get his reps up and get it out. And once we had it out, we realized we really had something there, because everybody was looking for a microphone, and there wasn't enough microphones to go around.
Yeah. I could listen to you all day, man. It's inspiring, because it's like, we're both Marines. I got about 7 years, so I can hang it up. And it's like,
thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir. It's actually, our company was founded by 3 Marines, all of us. So we met when 13 years ago, when we joined the Marine Corps. Kentucky, Tennessee, Louisville fans. So we just, it all makes sense. And we started this thing about a year ago, and it's like, if 7 years from now I can have built something to where the retirement plan is chopping up with my boys still, but actually it becomes meaningful, making some money, or in some sort that. That's the ultimate dream.
And Boyer just walked by, another person I thank for his service all the time.
He's right behind you, sir. He's gonna jump on and talk about MVP. But I do thank you for your time. You mentioned USC. I gotta ask, did you watch Cocaine Quarterback?
If you rewatch it again, there's a picture of me in the 7th picture. Yeah. He's in fraternity. Yeah.
Bro, that was the wildest story. But I didn't know that. You knew the football side. I didn't know there was this thing going on in the background. And I mean, good grief.
It's pretty crazy.
Unfortunately, super high intelligent, big brain dude. I think he just used it the wrong
athlete.
way.
Yeah.
Just used it the wrong way.
It's the only guy that paddled me in my fraternity, because I was pledging at 23, and I would laugh at everything. They would move me off the line and be like, dude, you're blowing it. Go stand over there, because they were yelling at the 18-year-olds, and I just thought it was hilarious. And Owen's like, that's enough for you. And he paddled me. I was like, did you just paddle me? And then, here it is. So.
Oh, the stories are endless. So we thank you so much for your time, and I hope we can stay connected, and
I'd love to.
We'd love to learn from how you do.
We're here to help. We work with. Think of us as the mall. We're not the Louis Vuitton store. We're not the Nike store. We run it all. Everybody that comes up through us, you have to upload your podcast from somewhere, right? When you upload your YouTube, it goes straight to YouTube. When you upload your podcast, you have to pick one of the vendors, right, to come through. Just think of us in that situation, because you got to upload it somewhere. If you upload it through us, we'll help sell your ads, help maximize your show.
Yes, sir. That's incredible. I really appreciate your time, sir. And I don't know what you got for us the Super Bowl plans, but do you have a pick? Do you have a team you're cheering for?
Man, I love Mike Vrabel. He's just the greatest dude. Sam Darnold, the first USC quarterback to ever make it. So I'm kind of split in there. I think Seahawks just have a better team, like talent for talent, and a way harder schedule. Plus, they beat the Niners and the Rams at the end of the year just to even be the 1 seed. The easiest schedule in the history of the league in New England. Still got to play who went. Larry Bird, when he did the documentary, and they were like, said we didn't play anyone in Indiana State, still whipped them all. Love that line, right? So
My coach in college used to say, if you're supposed to dominate, dominate. Like,
there you go.
All right, sir. Yeah, thank you very much for your time. We have the founder of Bleav, Bron. Go check him out on FanDuel Network. Sir, you have a great day. Thank you for your time.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much, man. Best of luck.